We're just talking about the scrutiny that LeBron has to go through because there was no social media. The man said in The Last Dance, this is why he said he retired, Molly.
Yeah.
He said he retired due to mental fatigue and burnout.
The GOAT debate is one of the most passionate, polarizing, and persistent conversations in all of sports. But beyond the numbers, championships, and accolades, there's a much deeper question that often goes unasked. What about the mental weight of being great in different eras? Shannon Sharpe has stepped forward to put that conversation on the table, arguing that LeBron James has endured a level of scrutiny that Michael Jordan never faced. Not because Jordan wasn't great, but because the world around him wasn't built to judge him the way LeBron is judged today. In a world run by algorithms, media spin cycles, and 24-hour commentary, LeBron isn't just playing basketball. He's surviving a gauntlet of relentless opinion, judgment, and digital dissection. From talk shows to YouTube clips, Twitter threads to Instagram reels, everything LeBron does or doesn't do is up for debate. So, is it fair to compare the two legends without factoring in the different landscapes they operated in? And can you truly call someone soft when they've thrived under the most intense microscope in sports history? Let's unpack Shannon's words and find out just how different the pressure truly was. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to NBA Showdown, and drop your opinion in the comments. The truth is always somewhere deeper, and today, we're digging for it. When Shannon Sharpe begins by stating that LeBron James faced more scrutiny than Michael Jordan ever did, he is not trying to undermine Jordan's greatness. What he is doing is shining a light on how much the environment around an athlete matters. Jordan was undoubtedly iconic, but he rose to fame in an era without social media, without round-the-clock coverage, and without millions of fans microanalyzing every single move. LeBron, on the other hand, has grown up under the camera's eye from the age of 16. He has played his entire career while being recorded, tweeted about, and broadcast globally, all in real time. Every shot, every assist, every mistake is documented, dissected, and debated by millions. That alone is a burden few athletes could shoulder. And Sharpe's point isn't just that LeBron deals with criticism. It's that LeBron does it every single day, in a world that's always watching, always reacting. Jordan had media, sure. He had columnists and newspapers, but he never had millions of people turning every post-game stat line into a trending topic. There were no viral memes when Jordan missed a shot. There were no YouTube videos critiquing his defense. LeBron has lived in that space for over 2 decades, and not only survived, he thrived. That mental toughness is often overlooked in the GOAT discussion, but Shannon brings it forward, reminding fans that playing the game is one thing. Living through the judgment of it is something else entirely.
But we're just talking about the scrutiny that LeBron has to go through because there was no social media.
Rich Paul's argument that social media and nonstop coverage changed the way we view athletes today is echoed perfectly by Shannon Sharpe in the second quote. The internet has democratized opinion in a way that was unimaginable in Jordan's era. Today, anyone with a smartphone can be a sports analyst, a GM, a scout. And more importantly, those opinions now carry weight because they're amplified through likes, shares, and comment threads. Shannon is not complaining about it. He's observing how it changes the game, both on and off the court. In the 90s, Michael Jordan didn't have to worry about a teenager in another state going viral for criticizing his fourth-quarter shot selection. There was a wall between public opinion and an athlete's psyche. That wall is gone now. LeBron is not only facing opponents on the court, he's dealing with millions of invisible opponents off it. Fans, bloggers, former players, and podcasters who want their moment of clout. Shannon's point here is that LeBron is playing a different kind of game, one where public perception is just as important as performance. And that game is harder. It's not about skill anymore. It's about navigating waves of opinion, judgment, and controversy that never sleep. Jordan had to win basketball games. LeBron has to win basketball games and social media wars, all while carrying the expectations of a polarized fan base. That reality adds a mental tax that never existed in Jordan's time. And Shannon is demanding that fans start recognizing it as part of the burden of modern greatness.
Rich Paul is absolutely right. There was no 24 hours, 7 days a week, 365, in which we had an idea. What the internet has done is turned the common person into a head coach, into a general manager, into a scout, into a...
One of Shannon's strongest points comes when he imagines what would have happened if social media existed during Jordan's prime. It's a hypothetical, but a powerful one. If Jordan dropped 50, would the reaction have been pure praise? Or would critics have emerged to say that Magic would have scored 60 or Bird would have put up 80? Shannon is making the case that the bar is constantly moving for LeBron in ways it never did for Jordan. There's always someone saying he could have done more or that someone else would have done better. This culture of shifting expectations isn't just annoying, it's damaging. It creates a no-win situation where even greatness is never enough. Jordan, by comparison, was allowed to dominate without this noise. When he scored big, it was celebrated, not questioned. When he failed, it was a headline, not a viral storm. The intensity of today's digital commentary means that LeBron can never rest. Even when he performs at an elite level, the narrative quickly shifts to what others might have done. And that, according to Shannon, is an unfair standard. It's a reminder that LeBron isn't just battling ghosts of the past. He's battling millions of critics in real time. And the scoreboard isn't just on the court anymore. It's online, every minute of every day.
They get to have an opinion. See, Michael would score 50 points, and they never said, well, Larry would have scored 65. Magic would have gave you 80.
Shannon expands his point in the fourth section by comparing the response to LeBron's triple-doubles with hypothetical reactions to Jordan. He suggests that if LeBron scores big, fans immediately bring up what Jordan or Kobe would have done. This takes the debate into a dangerous territory, where performance is no longer judged on its own merit, but through the lens of what others could have done in imaginary scenarios. This is what LeBron is up against, a level of expectation that is not just high, but constantly shifting. Jordan, for all his greatness, was never forced to battle shadows of hypothetical legends. He was allowed to own his moment. But LeBron's moments are constantly hijacked by what-ifs. What if Kobe had done that? What if Jordan had faced this team? It robs LeBron of the space to be appreciated for what he's doing in real time. Shannon is not saying Jordan wasn't better. He's saying the rules of engagement are different now. LeBron's excellence is weighed against fantasy outcomes, not reality. And that kind of pressure does not just hurt your image. It breaks down your spirit. Yet LeBron keeps going, and that alone deserves a deeper kind of respect than what many are willing to offer.
LeBron gets a triple-double, then they say, man, Kobe Jordan would have had 76 points. So that's what he's up against.
In this part of the conversation, Shannon Sharpe makes a deeply personal and powerful observation. He highlights how LeBron James faces scrutiny on a nightly basis, while Michael Jordan, by contrast, never had to worry about that same level of exposure. This is not a knock on Jordan's greatness. Instead, it's a reflection of the vastly different media ecosystems in which these two legends have operated. Jordan's games aired live, yes. He had post-game pressers, yes. But his life was not dissected every single night on multiple platforms across television, radio, podcasts, and social media. LeBron's life is a constant performance, even when the final buzzer sounds. After the game ends, the real game begins, where his every move is picked apart on shows like First Take, Undisputed, or countless YouTube breakdowns. Shannon's insight points to a reality that modern athletes face but is rarely talked about: the emotional fatigue that comes from being forever under a microscope. LeBron doesn't get to go home and tune it all out. Whether it's Twitter, TikTok, or ESPN, somebody somewhere is questioning his legacy every night. And he still has to suit up and play the next day. Jordan never had to refresh his feed and see 300 memes mocking him for missing a shot. He never had to explain himself to sports influencers with millions of followers. Shannon is pulling the curtain back on a truth few want to acknowledge. LeBron's performance is not just physical, it is emotional and psychological warfare. And doing that every single night for 20 plus years is not just admirable, It's extraordinary.
The scrutiny of having to go out on a nightly basis, Jordan never had to worry about that. Never, ever.
Shannon then brings up one of the biggest wildcards of modern scrutiny, the camera phone. His commentary about how many relationships and careers have been ruined by a single tap of a screen should not be overlooked. Jordan's mistakes, and there were some, remain mostly within the bounds of traditional journalism. His off-court life was guarded by an unspoken code among journalists, but today that code is gone. Every room LeBron enters carries the potential for a viral moment, whether it is intentional or not. One accidental comment, one minor slip, one awkward interaction can be turned into a media firestorm. The pressure to be perfect now extends far beyond the game. LeBron is not just competing as an athlete, he is managing a personal brand that lives in a digital minefield. One wrong move and it's global news. This environment is so unforgiving that it often feels like society is just waiting for him to slip up. Jordan's life, in contrast, existed in a time when you had to wait for tomorrow's paper or the 6 o'clock news to find out what happened. The cycle was slower and the consequences less immediate. That isn't the case for LeBron. Shannon's point goes even deeper here. We're watching the erosion of privacy in real time, and the people who are paying the price are the icons we claim to love. LeBron is not just a player. He's a public figure under constant surveillance. To maintain greatness in that world takes more than talent. It takes discipline, awareness, and mental endurance that Jordan never had to cultivate to the same degree.
Do you know how many relationships, do you know how many businesses have been ruined with this? That camera phone? Ooh-wee!
Finally, Shannon Sharpe draws attention to something that might be the most misunderstood aspect of the entire GOAT debate: mental health. He reminds viewers that even Michael Jordan admitted to stepping away from the game due to mental fatigue and burnout. This is a moment of humanity that often gets buried under the glitter of 6 rings and 2 three-peats. Jordan had to leave to recharge, and that was without the daily barrage of criticism LeBron faces. So, what does that say about LeBron's endurance? The man has not only played longer than anyone expected, but has done so without a meaningful break. No retirements, no major hiatuses, just consistent elite performance under the weight of expectations that never let up. When Shannon mentions burnout, he isn't excusing LeBron from criticism. He is challenging us to recognize the silent battle that happens behind the scenes. It's one thing to play a long career. It's another to do it while carrying the weight of constant expectation, comparison, and cynicism. And still, LeBron continues. He's not asking for pity. He's demanding recognition of the grind. And Shannon is calling out the fact that most fans refuse to see that. We honor Jordan's decision to walk away as a sign of strength, but when LeBron continues to play, we call it chasing ghosts. That's the contradiction Shannon wants exposed. LeBron is enduring the very thing that caused Jordan to step away. And that should mean something.
The man said in The Last Dance, this is why he said he retired, Molly.
Yeah.
He said he retired due to mental fatigue and burnout.
At the heart of Shannon Sharpe's message is not a plea to crown LeBron James the greatest player of all time. It's a plea for understanding the era, the context, and the battlefield that LeBron has had to navigate his entire career. Jordan didn't have to live in a world of instant opinion. LeBron does. And despite that, he continues to show up, break records, carry teams, and raise the bar for what greatness looks like in the modern era. Comparing the two without acknowledging the fundamental differences in their surroundings is a disservice to both legends. But especially to LeBron, who has carried burdens that go far beyond the basketball court. From camera phones to toxic takes, he has endured an environment where perfection is expected and flaws are magnified. Jordan had the luxury of mystique. LeBron was never afforded that. He has lived his greatness in broad daylight, under constant attack, and through endless scrutiny. That alone deserves a new kind of respect. And maybe, just maybe, it is time we start redefining what true greatness looks like. Shannon Sharpe is not asking for your agreement. He's asking for your perspective. And if you listen closely, he might just change it.